Good evening, everyone. This is the Netzach Israel Steam Court Kitzur Shir online. Thank you for giving me the honor of doing tonight's shir. It's great to see that the shir is being successful. And tonight we're going to do Siman Ches. Those things that are not allowed from the beginning of the day until after a person has davened. Sif Aleph. V'she'ala amud hashachar, from the time of the daybreak. Shehu ar hanotzes min hashemesh b'mizrach, where the first rays of the sun come in the east, what we call daybreak. Kiven she'oz maschil zman tefillah, that is the first time that you're allowed to daven shachar. She'im hispalel oz b'diavad yotza, then you're allowed to daven from then b'diavad. As we know, there are later times when it may be better to daven. It's learned elsewhere in Shulchan Aruch, but you're certainly permitted to daven from the time of Amud HaShachar. From that time onwards, you're not allowed to start any work, or to do your own affairs. For example, modern example, you can't go online, start doing booking things and doing things online. Can't go on a journey, etc. before you've davened. Shenama Sedek lefonav Yahalech v'Yosem lederech ba'amov. Sedek zu tefillah. So the pshat in the pasuk is that it means righteousness has to go precede him. That means Sedek lefonav Yahalech shematzdik levoiro. That first of all you have to justify yourself. You have to show yourself to be worthy before your Creator. And afterwards v'Yosem ba'amov lederech chefza. And afterwards deal with your own affairs. So from here we learn that you've got to daven first before you do any of your own personal activities, and therefore it follows. You can't eat or drink. From a different source, you shouldn't eat on the blood. You should not eat before you've davened for your blood, for your life, because that's what tefillah is. It means that a person is davening literally for his life, and therefore he shouldn't eat before he's davening for his life. Somebody who eats and drinks and then davens, for him it says, regarding him, it says, you have thrown me behind you, behind your body. You read the Chazal reads this pasuk, word ge'echa, meaning your arrogance. You've thrown a Kadosh Baruch Hu, Omar Kadosh Baruch Hu, Kibel, La'achash, and his guys, after you've dealt with your own affairs, you've been arrogant, you've done what you need to do for yourself. Kabel olav malchus shamayim, then you go and accept the Kadosh Baruch Hu's commands and mitzvahs. Coffee or tea, sugar, even to drink tea or coffee with sugar, v'chalav and milk, osa she'enoi yachal lamad anavshay. So that means that a person who wants to have a drink before davening should not, according to the Kitzur, have tea or coffee with sugar or milk. Should point out that many hold nowadays that this does not have the chashivos that it used to have in the olden days, and therefore it is permitted to have a tea or coffee with sugar and milk even before davening. Not everybody holds with that, but there are many opinions which do, because in this kind of situation, the actual metzias has changed. It's a person who's weak and he can't last that long. Especially on Shabbos or Yom Tov when the tefillah is very long. So for him on Shabbos and Yom Tov, it's better for him to daven shachris at home and to make kiddush and then eat, because then, having taken account of the additional complication of the fact that you have to make kiddush, is not been over on this prohibition of eating before davening in this particular way. Again, I would add that people need to ask a question if they're in this situation, exactly what they should do. That's the general idea. And then we can go and daven with the community, shachris. You can't actually say the whole of the tefillah again, but there are parts that you can join in and you can listen, and then you can hear Kriyas Torah, Yisbalach, and Kach Musaf, and then Musaf. The Loi Sheyish to cover in the Sukkah. And not that he should have coffee or tea with sugar before being Mekabel al Malchus Shemayim. An exception is that if a person needs to eat for his own health, essential for health, because the reason why he's doing it, if it's got to be for health reasons, is not because of his own pride. Therefore, it does not fall foul of the pasuk of Oisi Hishlachta Acharei Gavecha. If he's not able to have any kind of kavanah because he just feels so rotten before he's had anything to eat or drink, in these circumstances he might be permitted to eat or drink before davening. That's one of the sniffing we rely on in relation to tea and coffee nowadays. Generally, as far as eating is concerned, again, there's a basis for a heter here, if necessary, for somebody, for example, that needs to take medicine. And with the medicine, he needs to have some food. So therefore, he's allowed to do this. But on Shabbos and Yom Tov, as I say, he needs to be careful with the Kiddush, because it may be that it is better for him to daven Shacharis, make Kiddush first, and then come to Shul. There's a strong opinion which says, even if you wake up at midnight, also you're still not allowed to eat before you daven. That's correct as the Kitzur, to be machme achim cholash liboy. But if he's weak, if he's getting up to learn and he doesn't have something to eat or drink, then he's permitted to eat or drink in order to strengthen himself so that he can learn. Here again, I'll throw in that this is one of the issues that arises on Tikkun Leil Shavuos, how much and when you should stop eating during the night because of the impact of Amud HaShachar coming during the middle of the Tikkun. So again, let's try not to eat the zonos, certainly once it's within half an hour of Amud HaShachar, but Kedei Lechazik Gufa LaTorah, so therefore there's a ground to be lenient, certainly with drinking and not having to follow the strict opinion as far as stopping after midnight is concerned. Dalet. Mayim, v'chein tea, or coffee, b'lay sugar, b'lay chalav. Water, tea, or coffee without sugar, mutar lishtos kodim atfilah. Even according to this opinion, you're allowed to have tefillah, even if it's after Amud HaShachar, because these type of drinks are so not choshev that they don't have any concept gab attached to them. But I feel it Shabbos Yom Tov, even on Shabbos Yom Tov, shechar b'kiddush, when you have to make kiddush, you're allowed to eat these things before drink these things before tefillah. Kiddush does not stop kiddush. Since before davening, there's no chiyuv of kiddush yet. Kiddush because you can only make kiddush rather perhaps in the zonos. And therefore, since there's no chiyuv yet of kiddush, and there's no question of having the zonos, you don't need to have the zonos, you can have these drinks. There's no question of achila just now. So therefore, it's not possible to eat for Tfilas HaShachar. So therefore, you're allowed to have and drink these things without having the complication of having to make kiddush before doing so. Another halacha. You're not allowed to go up to someone's house, to go to someone's place where they're staying, to give them shalom before davening. Even to say what we would say, good morning, sir. It's not allowed. Pasuk in Yeshaya, it says, take away or desist from the honor of man who has breath in his nostrils, but what is he that he is respected? What right have you got to show his honor before my honor? To go and greet another person before you've actually said your tefillahs is inappropriate. So the halacha, that's the halacha, that you're not allowed to go lepesach haveirah. But in pigai, but if you met him, or pagai, b'derech mikra, if you happen to meet somebody on the street, mitzad hadin mutar l'nashala. According to the strict letter of halacha, you're allowed to greet him, but you should try and change the way you do it, not do it in the normal way. In order, it's made known that you're not going to stop and have a big chat before you daven. So some people are very makpid. I know somebody very well is very makpid. He never says hello. He never says good morning. Even if he meets you on the street before davening, I understand why. He's normally a friendly person, but here he's very makpid for kavod shamayim. However, it's clear from Kitzur that you're allowed to, if somebody's there, happens to meet you, then you're allowed to say something particular. If you say, for example, instead of good morning, you say hello or hi, something which is less formal. Because the Issa is lahakdim, the Pesach Havera, is to go there and go knock on his door and to go deliberately in order to say good morning. You're not allowed to start learning when the time of Avodah Shachar arises, because now you've got a chiyuv of tefillah. Somebody who's got a fixed time for davening, like most people we know do have, and he's not likely to miss that time because he always davens at that time. It's permissible to learn. Somebody that's learning with other people, we know many daf yomi, other shiurim take place before davening. And to say do it after davening is not on the cards. They have to go to work and so forth. We're allowed to learn with them. Because the Chutz HaRabim is a great thing. In order that it should be careful, you should be very careful that the time for tefillah should not pass by if you become engrossed in learning. And as provided you do that, you take care to make sure that you are finishing in time for tefillah and not to let the Zman tefillah pass or the Zman Kriyas Shema, then it's okay to do this. We know the famous story in the Haggadah where they said Rabbi Seinu Higiaz Zman Kriyas Shema Shacharis. That was a famous example of this, and therefore in those circumstances it is permitted to learn before davening, because it's not going to affect the davening or the time of davening if you know you've got a fixed time, and if you make sure you pay attention to that. And therefore, in many cases, in fact, it's a good thing to learn before davening because it means that you have done something positive before you go out to work and so on. And therefore, many people have a minhag to have a shir or a limud before tefillah.